want to continue on this concept of space faith. It sounds freaking funny like that, but sometimes you gotta break it down like that so that people kind of look at it different, take another look at it. It's like it's really proud and bold statements, and they really lack follow through. If you look it up, they straight up hoax the moon landing. I mean, and these are paperclip Nazis that were putting all this trust in, and all these tax funds. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like freaking it's obviously some kind of a freaking manipulation, like space in general, and it's Hollywood and the media and like cartoons and like the Twilight Zone and shows like the Outer Limits, Tales from the Dark Side, stuff like that. That is why we believe in space the way that they show it in like movies like the Star Wars and like far off, distant freaking planets, and space travel like Star Trek. And it's like people believe in it because other people believe in it. Like I always assumed it was real growing up because the adults believed in it. And it come to find out even that like space mission was a false flag to like rally national support through some kind of a disaster, some kind of like, it's kind of like the concept of that movie where the guys went to hook up with chicks at a funeral because they knew they would be all depressed and deficient emotionally, so they could come swoop in and like take them to Pinocchio Island for the night, you know what I'm saying, and kick them out of the car in the morning, and drive away. But that's exactly what the space faith is being used and abused and duped. It comes out of the Cold War when they were fucking lying to each other with propaganda. And, but, I mean, there's stuff to UFOs, but it doesn't necessarily mean they came from space, man. You got General Byrd going to the Antarctica, and they tried to fly off into the freaking space and hit a dome. I mean, this was kind of broadcasted in, the Simpsons movie. I've seen some strange stuff that looked like a friggin' dome, and I took pictures of it and put it on Skywatch Chronicles. Like, short rainbows, like frickin' pink, frickin' perfectly dome-shaped, like, off in the distance. Stuff like that. And, once again, back to these heavens, okay? It's like, there's lower levels of heaven, so in a way, people in airplanes are in the sky and kind of in the heavens, but they're not where the stars are at. And it's like, to some extent, some of these things that we see that are stars are supposedly imprisoned angels. There's angels imprisoned in these stars in this faraway darkness, and it's only a temporary thing. That's what Judgment Day is all about. This is all explained in Enoch too, and it's referenced in the Holy Bible, the King James version. But there's also things imprisoned down under the earth and strange, like under rivers, like stuff like that. See, that's kind of what space is about. It's to take your eyes off of, well, it does say in the Bible also, look to the heavens for your redemption draweth nigh, this is true, but at the same time we're supposed to watch for stuff like a comet fire from the sky, something like that. That's kind of or a tidal wave or a freaking big earthquake or something. Like, there's an earthquake that went through, let's say, like a landmark, that's probably a pretty decent sign about something. Like, they broadcast this in the movies all the time, like, what the frick is that movie, man? Planet of the Apes, where, the frickin' Statue of Liberty, which is this freaking fertility goddess, like in drag, man. I mean, it's a freaking joke. But this thing is on the beach, and he's like, "No, they blew it up. No." But and it's more of this freaking like, look, these fuckers think they can be like liberated and just free from all consequence and just steal and plunder and fly off into freaking space. I mean, and build some space station and look, have their own little cult, like their own little cult up there. And it'd be like, you ever see a movie where a predator dude is like, he like takes a chick, she's hitchhiking, and then he gets her in the car, and then he starts freaking terrorizing her, and then she's trying to fucking get out of the fucking car, and then the door's locked. Look, it was like that in that movie Machete Part 2. Anyway, man, that's space faith is another fucking con, man. Fucking manipulation, a way to extort money and con people out of like money, but at the same time, these gurus, like and look at me, I look like the Zigzag Man, and I'm talking about these dudes are gurus. You know, it's like they need devotees. In a way, if you're a fucking guru and you're just conning people, it's like they're dupies. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like freaking they're willing to just be fucking taken advantage of, and they are counting on people like that. And this is one of the ways that they test the water, like how naive are you, and like how in the dark are you? Oh, you still believe in the moon landing? Man, you are freaking like way behind. Kinda. Because I mean, the moon landing is propaganda. Like, that can be proven. You know what I'm saying? It's like obvious. And I've been to the Kennedy Space Station down in Florida. I've been to freaking Universal Studios out in California, and they had the freaking moon landing. Like, look, like people acting it out. And I'm thinking, now I'm looking back on it, I'm like, holy shit, that is the set that they used. And now it's a freaking museum. And we go and walk by it and don't even realize, like, wait a second, we were duped. I've been a dupe E. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like unfortunate. Like, if I was on the other side of this and I still believed in all this stuff, like, and my feelings were getting all hurt by the stuff I'm saying right now, I mean, it kind of sucks. Sucks to be you, but it's like, it's way worse, dude, than you even know. Like, how bad of a sick joke our history is, and dude, and the stuff that they have taught people, like evolution, that's another faith based on theories. Like, science is so theoretical, and it's just kind of like aggressively car salesmen imposed on us. And if you, like me, if I say, I don't know, man, the Bible doesn't really mention space, so I don't even want to necessarily invest too much in it. But I can fully invest in the heavens. But it's basically, it's satanic, and it's like the devil's a liar, and he lied from the beginning. And then these freaking people are just like him, just like Isaiah 14. And it says also, like, look, there's a point where they have made a covenant with hell and with death. Okay, that's some heavy poetry right there, dude. That's in Isaiah, a covenant with hell and with death. But God will annul their covenant, and then He says that they made lies their refuge, but their lies shall cover them no longer. And it's like, this ain't the Cold War anymore, buddy. Look, we've had the printing press for a long time. That's when they're kind of the government's mind control first started to falter. like their whole system of control and manipulation and using and abusing and kicking you out of the car. Freaking, it's kind of, unfortunate that's the way freaking history works. But, where's the frick? Yeah, man. Anyway, man, this freaking space faith is, the Vikings. Anyway, the Vikings freaking used to burn a Viking ship as a funeral. And I see these kind of like when they blew up the Challenger, that was just kind of like a Viking ceremonially. They burnt the ship to symbolize like something like, uh, in a way. And they mocked, it was mock funeral deaths. This was fucking mentioned in some kind of a manual, think tank manual, like Operation Northwoods or something from a earlier era, like in the 50s or 60s. But they mentioned downing an aircraft with fake people in it. They'd even have fake freaking coffins and fake funerals to induce like alarmism from the public. You know what I'm saying? It's like sometimes you gotta use a kind of form of alarmism to entice people to even pay attention at all, like and say space faith, and kind of like, look, if you really look at it, it literally is like a faith because they don't have no evidence other than video footage, but that could always be faked. So unless you yourself, someone you know, can verify everything and you can see it's already kind of like they're full of shizzle. So, but they gotta provide something that looks like they're doing something to the people they're conning, which is the public, supposedly, because it's like this space faith thing is really deep. Like Ronald Reagan believed if they could fake an alien invasion, the whole Earth would come together and there'd be world peace. And so you know the government has been playing in this, and they put the idea out there, and now people are like already ready for something, for the deception. And but when you sit back and look at it, it's like, look, it's not what they're freaking telling us, man. There's no way we can necessarily prove it unless we make a hot air balloon or a blimp or like freaking the Wright brothers like build your own freaking little modified aircraft and then just fly up and see if you can run into the top of the dome, you know, or if like they say, like your craft will stall out and then you'll fall back to the earth, just like freaking Isaiah 14. And there's also a portion of the Bible where it says, like, the people who think that they're going to go down in a fucking dome, a deep underground military base, or if they're going to go to space, it says the ground will be like bronze beneath you, and then the sky will be like iron, like you're stuck right here on the earth plane with the rest of us right now. But there is the, you know, the snatching away, the rapture, Jesus coming in the clouds with 10,000s of his saints, that reference. So, just because of all the space faith, there's still something going on in the heavens. It's just the space and NASA and all this school classroom texts, book stuff you see on TV, on National Geographic, on stuff like that. It's all just Hollywood, man, and manufactured and computer generated, and that's how they make a lot of movies now. Is full scale computer generated. Like they could take my face and impose it on a woman's body with the freaking computer, and a lot of people couldn't tell the freaking difference. You know, especially with me sitting right here by this wall. It'd be very easy to do that. But anyway, man, yeah, don't get caught up in the hype, man, of space faith. Like, I don't think we're going to get on a rocket ship and fly off into space right when WW3 happens and you can wait it out. That's just like cryogenics, man. It's too good to be true.